What is a good comeback to go make me a sandwich? Well, to come back with it on a plate. That's your role. That's what you do as a woman. Like,
I believe when women stay with a man because they see potential in him, it's mothering them. They see potential.
No, that's a toxic mindset. And I love you, but I'm glad you said that, because there's a difference between potential in action and potential in theory. And I think that a woman should be okay with a man that has potential in action. And I don't know why women, so many women, especially black women, want a finished product.
No. Talking about potential in theory.
Why is it that a lot of white women will go to college, meet their man? That young man doesn't have all the answers.
Right.
That young man doesn't know the plan, but
Right.
they're willing to ride it out and grow with that man because there's potential in action. Whereas we want the man that makes $5 million a year, drives the Rolls Royce Cullinan, that has the multi-million-dollar house, that has. Well, this is the thing. If he already accumulated all of these things, then why is it?
Why does he need you?
But not from a space of why do I need you because my business is good, but do you actually appreciate? Do you have the nurturing? Do you have the effective communicative way to actually be of value to that man? Why would he choose you? As opposed to all of these men out here that have a plan and they're in action, but they just haven't gotten there yet. What's wrong with that man?
There's nothing wrong with that man.
Well, why do so many women, they're like, he ain't made it yet. Okay, you haven't either.
My husband called that the great trick, because he was just providing all the time. And there was something I wanted to provide for him, and he just was a total block. And it happened so much, and I was so hurt. I finally screamed at him. Do you think you're the only person in this relationship that needs to give? And he was like, what? Huh? Yeah, he called it the great trick. And he was forever grateful for the great trick. And he did improve greatly from that. Much, much better. But he still, I had to work on the other side as well, which I never got in place. He died before it got in place, of saying, when I would say thank you for what he provided, for him to say, you're welcome.
Men get busy. That's all they know. That's what they know how to do. I know how to give. I'm not expecting anything back. So the fact that you give it to me, it's a block. It's like, what? You're going to do something for me? You're going to cater to me? Wow. A lot of men don't get that.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these women look like straight, like it's crazy. Like right now I look like shit because I'm cleaning out my car to give it to my niece, but anyways, like this is like my cleaning outfit, got my hair tied back, but like without they lashes, without they makeup and stuff like that, like I'd be like, why you got a 5 o'clock shadow, my dear? Like what's going on? Like it's like they're pumping so much testosterone that they're starting to actually look like it's like y'all in competition with men so much, y'all starting to look, y'all really is like, hey, what's up, twin? Because you really look like here. It's crazy. Like I'll see a girl and I'm just like, oh, she's so cute. Like I'll see her with her makeup on, right, and then she'll go live and I'm like, this is not the same person. Like, who is this man? You know what I mean? Or like I'll see a girl in public and she just like, I mean, not to judge people in public, I feel it, like there's somebody for everybody, like somebody like everything about somebody, right? But like I'll see some of them, I'm just like, girl, like you just, can we like try to like, I think it's the fact of, it's not even that, it's the fact of people rely on makeup and all this other stuff to look pretty, so they don't really do their eyebrows. They'll shave their eyebrows off so they get a cleaner eyebrow look. They don't give a fuck about their eyelashes, so they're putting all these heavy ass extensions so their eyelashes is gone. And it's like, bro, like they have hella acne from just hella makeup, and it's like the baby hairs is ripped out from all whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't know what they be doing, but it's just kind of like they rely too much on other things to look pretty, and so when you're in your natural state, they just look horrible.
You're not a young hoe, you're a trifling hoe. All these little so-called jokes that y'all are saying are things that young hoes do. No, that's the things that a trifling girl who was half raised does. All right. This is the actions of a girl who mama was so pressed on running after men that she did a terrible job at raising her daughter, and her daughter is now trifling and don't know how to operate as a woman. That's what that is, right? And we know this because anybody who would go around proudly associating the word hoe with themselves already tell us the mindset of how lost you are as a bird. Y'all too comfortable with these negative titles that you give yourself. Young hoe, bad B, just the B word in general, tossing that around so casually, allowing men to be like, that's my B, my fine S. All that negative stuff that you let people associate with you, it shows the mindset. It shows the mindset of how silly you are. It shows just how much of a bird you truly are. Like I said before, way too many birds on the ground and not in the sky. And I can already hear y'all in the comment section now. It's just a trend. We just joking. And like I said before, a joke ain't nothing but a relatable truth. The truth is still in there, right? So all of these little things that y'all are associating with you being a young hoe, you not separating clothes, you cooking everything on high. Again, these are basic adult functions that you don't know how to do properly because you were half raised. The whole wearing the same bra and panties multiple days in a row, getting in the bed wet after taking a shower, like, y'all were not raised properly. You were not raised properly. Y'all some nasty little birds, and you need to grow up. You need to grow up, and you definitely need to stop associating yourself with calling yourself a hoe. All right, some of y'all are, but just calling yourself that is crazy.
Till this day, I will never understand why girls in relationships go to their single friends for relationship advice. That's like equivalent to asking a poor man how to become rich.
Well, I will say this. It depends on the man. But in general, yes. Why would you do that? Some men that are broke have been rich before, but for some reason or another, they lost it all. And probably, if given time, they can get it back again. But, notwithstanding, you have a valid point.
And this is my wifely opinion. Why is it that when someone says put your marriage before your kids, y'all automatically think about neglect? Y'all automatically think about the worst case scenario as if people are choosing to be bad parents. So because it's so hard to comprehend, let me explain to you what it looks like for your marriage to be before your kids. Take care of your children the best way that you guys know how, but never, ever neglect each other because of a kid's practice, because of kids' homework, because of whatever your kid got going on. You're going to neglect your spouse. The same way you go hard for your kids, you're going to go hard for your marriage. Continue to do the things that got you married in the first place. And don't let any excuse, your kids, be the reason why your relationship is failing. So my wifely suggestion is that make sure you guys are reading your Bible. In the Bible, it says, in order, Christ is first, husband is second, third is the wife, and child is last. It says that for a reason.
Well, you're dealing with, like the team, right? So you can think of your kids as a team, and you two are the coach. The coaches are not on the same page. One coach is going to be telling the team one thing, and it's going to happen the same thing with the other coach. So both of y'all got to get on the same page first. Both of y'all have to be in alignment first. And then you pass that message on to the kids. And it just continues to work like that, right? So a lot of people, I think like you were saying, they go to the extreme and they think, oh, you're neglecting your kids. No, we're getting on the same page about how we want to raise the kids, what we need to be doing. We're getting on the same page about, okay, are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Let's go out and execute the plan for the team.
Ruby Rose is wildin'. She said you gotta make $5 million just to date her.
Ruby Rose said you need to make $5 million a year to date her.
Everyone can have their dreams and aspirations. I'm not knocking her prerequisites. Now, it's a little steep.
She already told you what she about, so she's under no pretenses. It's just as easy to date a rich man as it is a poor one. And if you're given a choice, hey, she said, I'm gonna take the rich one. $5 million.
I like it.
So
I
what?
like it.
So
Ruby Rose. She cute, huh? She's fine, huh?
not $5 million fine. I've seen women finer. I've seen women that look better. That's just me personally.
Right.
In Houston, I saw 10 of them.
Oh my God.
I know 3 for sure.
Do me a favor. Don't mention Houston.
You know what? You're right. My bad.
I've been focused. I've been focused. I've been disciplined. Don't do that. Don't do that.
In order for Unc to date you, I'm gonna need you to make at least $10 million a year.
Damn. Oh, how many women on earth are making
That ain't got
TV
nothing
a
to do with
year?
me. I'm telling you what my standard is, okay? What I got to do? What the fudge that got to do with me?
Imagine $5 million is what you need to make to date a chick that smashed mad dudes. You literally can't take her nowhere because you would always run into someone who hit before. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach this chick nothing new. The bitch done been everywhere. Yachts, places, you know what I'm saying? A chick that did everything and smashed everybody is just, it's a fun time for a little bit. Is she smashable? Of course, yo. You can chill with her, smash her, probably put in her butt, whatever you want to do, bro. But there's nothing else to this. There's mad pretty chicks everywhere, prettier than this, with a fraction of the bodies, trust me. And for the fact that she's demanding $5 million, yo, her preferences are her own. That's completely fine. She could want what she could want, but then when she's wondering why she's still single, she's a bimbo. She knows why she's single because her shit is put out there for the world to see. All the dudes she was with, the whole Drewski shit, anyone before that. And remember, when you got money, money makes you look better. I mean, look at Nicki Minaj and Cardi B before they had bread. Ugh, they were hit. So with her, yeah, she's cute, but she's already ran through at such a young age. That trauma's gonna be building up, and when she's 30 plus, she's gonna be wondering what the hell's going on. She's already wondering why she's single. So again, she could wish for whatever she want, but no one's gonna take this serious. This is just to, to pull out and get some attention. You know what I'm saying? She's good to rent. She's good to be like, yo, come out tonight. Yeah, might give you some bread to come out. So she's a good look next to me, and that's it. Smash at the end of the night, send her packing. This is not a chick that deserves a ring or none of that shit. And whoever does is simping out, bro. They literally feel like they don't got a choice, but they got bread. So, we staying away from this. That shit reeks of pollution.
Trust that bitch. Nope.
Well, of course he didn't want you going to a Chris Brown concert because most men in relationships try to stop their woman from 7 times in a relationship. Me personally, I'm going to let my woman do exactly what the fuck she want to do because her action is going to show me how much she actually fuck with me or she don't fuck with me. But to every man, every other man is just a man with talent. Chris Brown is just a man who know how to sing and dance. A basketball player is just a man who know how to play basketball, and so on and so forth. But to a woman, a man with talent, and then millions of dollars, and then also fame, they about to lose their damn mind. Of course, he wanted you to stay his woman. He didn't want you to be Chris Brown fangirl, in the back of Chris Brown videos like you're doing now, or taking pictures being fanned out, being a groupie on some G-Unit shit, giving all these different celebrities groupie love. So of course he didn't want you in no damn Chris Brown concert because he knew that you would act exactly how you're acting. And let's just keep it a being. Like, I'm saying 80% of women fold, and it don't matter that they're in a relationship. They can be married. If Chris Brown say, hey, I got a room, they going. Of course. He knew you was going. He was right.
Somebody said in the comments here, she went from being the main chick to a groupie. Like, there's literally 8 other women there too. I'm telling you, dog, these women will always show who they are. Like, why would you even brag about that? You're on his roster. You're on his roster. You're not being respected right now.
And who talk about wanting women with a low body count as if that's like some sort of like morality clause are truly the most annoying group of humans in the world. Like, it denotes her sense of ethics or morals, and that if you've had with a lot of men, that in some way means that you're unworthy of this man, usually a preacher future, like caring about you. It is the most wild thing. Who is she having that body count with? Herself? Not other men? So you guys can have high body counts and somehow your morals aren't in any way, dirtied up, but women can't. I die for the double standard. I die for it.
Honey, I die for the double standard too. I die. Men and women are different, right? Again, I would love to have these women. We've invited a few, by the way, and they won't come on. Can't imagine why. Honey, the reason that it's different is because, yes, is there like a lack of morality in just sleeping around with anyone for men and for women? Sure, yes, but women don't care when guys have high body count, and men do care when women have high body count. So it winds up just being one of those things that's just different. You don't have to like that it's different. You don't have to like that there is a double standard. Sometimes there just is. In the same way that you will say a guy has to make X amount of money or I'm not going to date them. And guys don't say that. A guy will date a waitress. A guy will date a woman making no money because that's not important to him, because men and women care about different things. So get with the program or get with the show. Maybe you need some clips to watch. A high body count is a sign of lack of morality. It just is, right? It means that you're willing to just sleep with people without having any real emotion, right? It's nasty, right? It is nasty. And I personally am not a fan of the sleeping around no matter who you are. I think it's I said this before, but I think it's a sink for men in a different way and a sink for women. It affects men and women differently. I think women come out of it much more damaged, right? And that whole pair bonding thing is a real problem, but I don't think it's good for men either. I really think that you should just get with what people who you really care about, who you have some sort of like plan to have some kind of longevity with, right? That you're taking, at least you're dating them seriously. And hookup culture is just awful for everyone. However, the reason that guys get that it's a double standard is just because women don't care. So you can ask a bunch of women, oh, you care about his body count? And they're like, no. And then you ask a bunch of men, do you care about her body count? And they say yes. So earth to honey. Men and women are different. Get used to it and get over it. It just is. Okay, last clip of the day, Drew Afwalo. I used to have a different podcast a few years ago, and I used to cover Drew Afwalo a lot. And then she got mad about it, and I think they prevented us from pulling. Oh, it was just hilarious. But regardless, here's a clip from TikTok that's just as you might expect it to be. Let's play it.
Why don't you just not do it? Why are we debating this? I don't know how many times, like say for instance, if somebody is out here gambling all their money away, is there a debate? Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Stop doing it. It's not good practice. That should be all that you need to say.
You're going to come at fat people for being fat and tell us it's our fault. Tell us that all we need to do is lose weight. I need you to come at me with facts. I don't mean what your mom forced into your brain when you were little and she was giving you an eating disorder. I mean literal facts.
You don't need to be a scientist to logically understand that being 300 pounds at 5'4" is unhealthy to the human body. Since you asked for it, here's a study. Search that one up on Google. Being severely overweight is linked to dozens of mental and physical health problems leading to an early death. Because that's what a ton of excess body fat does to the human body. And you can be offended and make TikToks about this all you want. The reality, quite frankly, does not care about your feelings, because calling the truth hate doesn't make it stop being true.
Listen, my 11-year relationship might have gone to hell in a handbasket, but that doesn't mean what I've learned about blue collar and relationships is any less true. If anything, it proves the point that we already know, that you can do everything right, but if you're doing it for the wrong person, it doesn't matter. So with that being said, here's a few small things that can make a big difference if you're in one of those relationships. First, non-trade spouses. Get a boot tray and sit it by the door. That will catch a large percentage of the dirt, rocks, grease, whatever they bring in on their boots. Trade spouse. Use the boot tray. Number 2, non-trade spouse. Do not get white towels or light colored towels. Dark towels are a necessity. You'll thank me later. Also, put a dirty clothes basket in every room. Trade spouses. Hang the towels or use the baskets. And third, this goes for both sides, talk every evening. Ask the other person, what do you have going on tomorrow? What does your day look like? And let them tell you what they have on their plate, what they have going on, what weight they're carrying. Then ask them, is there anything I can do to help? Most of the time, the other person's going to say, no, nothing I can think of. But here's the kicker. You've already helped. You've already made them feel heard. You've already made yourself and them feel a part of something. So that tomorrow, when it comes and tones get a little sharp, or messages are delayed or slow, or phone calls don't get answered or forgotten, you already know that it is because of everything they're carrying the night before, everything that they told you. And then you know that it's not you, and you don't have to take it personally. Those are just a few things. If I'm close, let me know. And if you want to hear more, let me know. Y'all have a blessed day.
Back in December, I made a video in regards to the purple profile people being fake as fuck and performative as fuck. Like, you're talking about spreading awareness when it comes to violence against women, while in the same breath inflicting violence against women on social media because you don't agree with the fuck they said. Shout out to the men who are snitching on the purple profiles for saying some shady ass shit in whatever language that they're like. This is my whole thing. If you're gonna say something fucked up, say it in the language that the person that you're directing it to can understand and read it. Oh, sweetheart, I can always plug into the translator and see, what the fuck you said and just go ahead and block you. But be a woman, grow a pair, and say it with your whole fucking chest. So that way your hypocrisy can be on full-on display on how you got a fucking purple profile talking about you spreading awareness against the violence against women while inflicting violence against women. You bitches are fucking hypocrites, man. So if you're gonna be a hypocrite, stand 10 toes and say it with your whole fucking chest in the language that everybody can understand. Shout out to the men who calling these bitches out. Y'all hoes are hypocrites. And this is why I can't get down with this fake performative ass allyship. Go ahead. Prove your point. Show your ass. And show your ass in the language that everybody can understand, you fake ass bitch.
And why in the world would they want to do that? Why would they do something like that? Be responsible? No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be responsible. That's what modern women do. They talk about people. They trash people. They get on people's case. They throw rocks and they hide their hands. Yeah, I expect nothing less.
Yeah, if you're one of these women on social media that thinks that men should just live to serve you, you're gonna have a rude awakening when you go out in the real world. Because yeah, sure, your videos are getting lots of validation from the toxic, insufferable women who don't know what it's like to keep a relationship or a man. But when you go out in the real world and you try to date and be around actual men, you are gonna get slapped in the face with reality so fucking hard, you're not gonna know what tasted. Because newsflash, you have to bring something to the table other than 6 different personalities and a bad attitude. You can bring to the table good humor, peace at the end of the day. I mean, that's really all that men want. But no, instead, you sit on social media, you arm yourself with your past trauma, and you make it a reason as to why you're treating an entire demographic like shit. And that is why you're probably gonna die alone. Thank you.
If we don't assign jobs based on physical traits, why assign relationship roles based on them?
There should not be relationship roles. I do not agree with that.
That's so valid. I think that in a relationship, sometimes you play a certain role, if that makes sense, but you're not required to. So, I'm not sure.
Shouldn't personal choice matter just as much at home as it does at work?
Yeah, it should.
100%, especially because personal choice is what leads to happy families.
Well, why isn't it that way?
Again, I'd have to say because of what everyone's been taught and what everyone's used to and the social norms that are around.
Like, if you see a man, like, you usually expect them to be hardworking, to be handy and stuff. And some men, that's not what they're good at. That's not, what they do. And it's just like the society thinks like that's just men. That's just what they're for.
There are women out here on some sprinkle nonsense, listen to too much She-Ra 7, thinking that they're going to get the bag and that's going to be easy. It's going to be no strings attached. And you really think that a man who has worked that hard, gaining all this wealth, gaining his career, you really think that he's just going to give it over to you scot-free? Some are. I know there are some men, they have their own challenges, they have their own issues, mental stuff, etc., etc. But by and large, most men, they're aware of what's going on. They see, they're online too. They're on the internet. They understand what is going on. They can listen into these podcasts. They can turn to She-Ra 7 and hear her advice. They're not unaware of the game and they are planning accordingly,
What do you do if your partner is amazing? He's amazing emotionally, physically. Earlier this year, I had to have 2 brain surgeries. He stayed with me in the hospitals. He even washed my butt some of the times.
Damn.
But he wasn't working for a couple of months, and I'm 24 now. So I basically feel like I'm just real grown.
Tell me more about this 24 grown.
Basically, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, how long do I wait before I feel appreciate it.
I think this is a really good example of having 90% of everything that you need in a relationship, but then still hyper focusing on this 10% over here. And I do understand that this woman is young, but I don't think she realizes how rare it is to have a partner who is willing to sit with you in the hospital, willing to help scrub your butt. I mean, that is not a typical partner. There are going to be ebbs and flows in a relationship. There are going to be ups and downs. Sometimes your financial situation might change temporarily. Sometimes you guys might be busy and not always able to go on fancy dates every month or have a bunch of excitement. He was willing to understand that when it was this woman. So I do think that he deserves that same reciprocity in return. Relationships are about compromise. They are occasionally about sacrifice. Now, I do understand that there are going to be deal breakers that people have, and you should not be in a completely unbalanced or one-sided situation. But clearly, based off of this woman's description, she is not. He has done way more for her than most people probably would to showcase that he is very in love with her and wants to be that stable rock and support system for her. I understand if this is, a year down the line, multiple years down the line, maybe not getting that far and having a conversation beforehand, but I think having that open communication instead of just expecting that you are always going to get everything that you want in a relationship, she will quickly realize, in my opinion, if she goes and leaves her boyfriend and tries to find that 10%, she will quickly realize how valuable that 90% actually was. But that is my personal opinion, so let me know what you guys think. Bye.
I mean, we're talking about 90%. What's the 10? What else do you need? The man was washing your behind. Are you okay?
And she a baddie, we think like, I'm gonna get her pregnant. That's what men think when they see a baddie.
You gamed me.
You gamed me.
I'm just asking.
Hey, I'm just saying, when a man really sees a woman that that he likes and it's a baddie, that be our first thought. Like we be thinking like, damn, like I would have a baby by that. So yeah. I'm manifested. I'm manifested.
Gamed.
Yeah. Game manifested, I'm at the point now where I haven't even taken Blaze for, I went on a walk, but I don't believe in taking kids from their mom too early because like they're just so little and precious. And it rang true. Remember I told you I don't change diapers? Have I changed one? See, she don't like that shit. But I did tell you I don't change diapers from the beginning before he was born. Did you think it was gonna change? Like I would actually like flip and like do it?
I did.
Game admitted that he got Shanice pregnant on purpose because she was a baddie. So really, he's saying he trapped her. Then he turned around and tell her that he's not even going to help her change a diaper. So not only did he get you pregnant on purpose before he made you a wife, then he's saying he's not going to help you with the baby. He already told you who he was from the beginning. You just ignored it because it didn't fit your fairy tale. It didn't fit your narrative. And now you're upset and now you're a single mother. A lot of women make this mistake. We think that we're going to change a man. You can't change a man if that man don't want to change himself. So this should be a lesson for all women. Take whatever a man says at face value. When he tells you what he's about, who he is, and what he ain't gonna do, take that at face value. Don't ever think that you can change someone, let alone a grown 40-something-year-old man.
And honestly, you have to. Now, this is the problem. This is the problem. Because Game sat up there maybe like a week or so, or not even a week, like a month or so before this, or however long it was. And he sat up there and put out a list of what you should pay for if you're in a relationship with a woman. Oh man, you're going to have to pay for a rent. You're going to have to pay for her nails. You're going to have to pay for her food, for lunch, for this. You're going to have to take her out. You're going to have to send her roses. He made a list. He made a list. And I feel like he went somewhere and he confirmed what he was saying. Because at first I thought it was like, oh, somebody made that list and they're ascribing it to a celebrity, so it will drive engagement. But I think he came out and actually said that. So he said, when taking a woman seriously, okay, December 2025, the rapper Game sparked a significant debate on social media by stating that men should not engage in a serious relationship unless they can afford to spend at least $5,000 a month on a woman. Okay. I'm looking for the actual post, but it said the statement during an appearance on the Club Shay Shay podcast, the Game argued that $5,000 a month is the bare minimum. And I remember Shannon Sharp kind of nodding along to that in a clip. He said for a woman, a man is taken seriously, particularly when living in a high cost area like Los Angeles. I mean, you have a point, but Even still, okay, his rationale, he described this financial outlay as a reflection of maintenance for a stable lifestyle and mentioned that for him, being a caretaker is a love language. Okay, so obviously many people disagreed with this for obvious reasons. So the list is, said, fellas, stay single unless you're ready for the every 2 week bare minimum. So he said, lashes 200, hair 300, nails 250, toes 200, makeup 200, little lunch money 500, drinks with the homegirls 500, Lil Aloe, Lulu, and La Boo Boo 1,000. So that's every 2 weeks. So the bare minimum is 5,000. So that's what he's saying. The bare minimum every 2 weeks is 5,000. That's the bare minimum you're going to get, especially in LA. That's not anything. So if that's the bare minimum, that's the starting point, you're probably receiving more support. And if you're with him, he might be putting you in an apartment, helping you with rent. Who knows what? And then you got his baby. Who knows what else he's helping you with? And he's taking care of the child. He's just not changing diapers. He's just not changing the diapers. And so how could he say that? You act like you're in some sort of position of power and you're not. I don't know, just because you cute and all that stuff, y'all are not in any position of power. The man told you exactly what he's going to do and did it. Y'all think that, oh, well, I'm going to change the game, and you're not going to change anything. It's not like anybody did you wrong. Nobody trapped anybody. She came into this thinking, okay, I'm going to get this and he going to help out around the house. He don't have to do that. Ain't nobody trapped. Ain't nobody tricked. Nothing. You got the treatment that you wanted. And he said, okay, for that treatment, here's the work that you're going to have to do. A lot of y'all like to sit around the house and do nothing. Oh, I'm with a rapper. He does this, da, 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 da. No, you're going to be taking care of that child. I thought she was bad and I'm willing to pay for it and I'm paying for it. And so guess what? You about to be the child's mother. Simple.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your man is constantly responding in self-defense, it's because he knows that you don't respect him. Respect is the number one thing that a man desires from his woman, and when he is not receiving that, he will always respond in self-defense, which as women we see as, oh, he's just being rude and he's just grumpy, but really he's not receiving what he needs from you. What do I mean by not respecting him, okay? I mean constantly criticizing every little thing he does if it's not done your way, not trusting him to make decisions, going before him to make decisions because you think you're smarter, and constantly treating him like a child who needs supervision. Every idea, opinion, or piece of advice just gets shut down by you. What he wants and what he truly desires is for you to trust and respect him. And I know you're thinking right now, but Savannah, I really can't trust him. I really don't respect him because he did this and this and this. You're keeping tabs on him, and that's unfair. And you will find that once you start trusting him, once you start respecting him, he will go above and beyond to make you happy. He will step up even more as a man because he knows that his woman respects him.
Let me get this straight. He's supposed to validate you 24/7. But if he needs some validation, he's less of a man? Why is it that there's so many double standards in relationships and men always get the short end of the stick? You can't have feelings about anything without being shamed. We see countless videos that anytime a man has a preference or something that he likes, women are making fun of him for it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And if you act like a hoe, people will treat you like a hoe. If you dress like a hoe, people will treat you like a hoe. If you're out here in these streets sleeping with everybody, unless it's been 10, 15, 20 years, I promise you, you will be in a cycle where you are used and abused. And rarely do those women get wifed by a high-earning, masculine, high-value man. They might get wifed by an Offset. Would you want to marry him?
You talking to me?
Anybody,
Absolutely.
any woman? No.
Absolutely
The answer
not.
is no. He's
No.
not. He's good for money. He's good for flash. But a husband?
No.
Negro, you stepped out on Cardi B so many times. It doesn't make you. You're high value. You're high earning. Do not confuse the two.
I feel like the issue is the women
Sorry,
need to
I
know.
was on a soapbox in
No,
that
no,
moment.
no.
I'm
But
just hurting for young
it's
women
needed.
today.
I feel like people need to know that what you're doing is wrong. If you're spreading your legs to every
It's not
cardinal
wrong.
direction, it is
no,
wrong.
No, it's not wrong. I don't want to misconstrue the message. It's not wrong. It's just not in alignment with getting a high value, high earning masculine man. Okay. That's what it is. You will not. They will for the long term, because this is another thing too. High earning, high value masculine men, they don't mind playing in these streets either. They outside.
Right.
They are smashing what they want. And
Right.
it is a double standard. So if you want to be one of the women they smash, cool. You will be one more woman closer to him finding his wife. You will be a placeholder until that man has his wife.
So
I'm sorry.
so
Am
this
I-
love. So they
men. Am I telling the truth?
Well, coming in hot. Coming in real hot. Say how you feel.
Let me tell you something. Do you have lesbian money? Do you have lesbian money? If you don't have lesbian money, you shouldn't be dating.
I can answer that question for you, and the answer is no. The girls do not have lesbian money. They barely have straight girl money. Have you not seen the epidemic on this app about going 50-50 on a first date? These girls would cry if every time they went on a date, they had to pay half of it, let alone all of it in some cases. Oh my gosh. They would lose their mind. They can't afford it. Because unfortunately, some of these girls are asking these men for basics. You asking a man to get your hair, nails, lashes done? You don't have money, Bookie? You broke? What the heck's going on? A lot of the girls are broke, and it's very unfortunate, and they're still dating because for heterosexual women, they don't have to spend any money while dating. Dating, for the most part, is free for them. So they just do it whenever. But if the girls had any type of financial responsibility when it came to dating, we'd see a lot more single women than we already do.
What destroys a lot of marriages is not the lack of love, it's the lack of likes.
Wait, what?
What destroys most marriages is you won't stop doing what I don't like. For example, I love my wife, but I don't like the way she dresses. I love my wife, but she will not work out and get in shape for me. I love my wife, but I can't stand the raggedy way in which she talks to me. So a lot of times it's the likes that are destroying the marriage, but you stay there because you actually love the individual. So that's what I teach. I teach, this is what the Bible says. This is what the Bible says about love in a marriage. This is the reason why he created it. Here are the likes of a man. Here are the likes of a woman. It's not rocket science. Find out from your man what he likes and do that. Find out from your wife what she likes and do that. Well, my wife, so for example, my wife, she likes roses. She doesn't like tulips. If I bring tulips in the house, they're going upside my head. So if I know my wife likes roses, why would I bring her tulips? Watch this. I actually shared this last night at the service. Your husband asked you for 1 and 2. Men are simple. Here you're giving him 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then when he complains, you complain because I'm doing all of this. Wonderful. But that's not what he asked you to do.
He's not lying. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And to his point, that very last point he made where, you know, the husband asked for 1 and 2 and is being brought 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's true, I think, on both sides. Like, I asked for one thing, and yes, you put thought into it, you put effort into it, but it's not what I asked for. And there's a video that relates to that that's coming, but just, it's not what I asked for. And I get it. And as the person who tends to bring 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we got to do better.
Unpopular opinion, blocking your man and then expecting for that man to figure out how to communicate with you is another level of immaturity and completely delusional. There is no way you should put the responsibility on that man to figure out how to contact you after you've blocked him. What are you thinking? This man gonna send a message through a pigeon, show up at your mama's house, phone your friend? You want him to do all of this extra whenever he can communicate with you directly if you just unblocked him? Or are you using this blocking as a way to control the emotional aspects of the relationship? Are you trying to win an argument by blocking him and now you got the power again? Stop trying to use these antics to control your man and actually sit down and communicate and talk to him. Blocking somebody that you love and expecting for them to figure out things on their own isn't a sign of a good partner. It's a delusional partner. And you're not a delusional partner, baby.
If I walked up to you at a bar and asked you out on a date, what would you say?
I don't know what's more fake, the fact that this was generated by AI or a woman approaching a man. I don't think that's ever happened.
Anything men can do, we can do better. Reject delusions. Embrace gender differences.
he can legally sign his rights away. Problem solved. And this is in regards to a man accidentally getting a woman pregnant, whether birth control failed, whether he thought she was using protection and she baby trapped him, to which I will say, men, protect yourself. It is nobody's responsibility but your own to make sure that you are protected from getting a woman pregnant if you don't want a child. Or 3, they both agreed that they didn't want a child, and that if they did get pregnant, that she would smart the child, and then all of a sudden she decides to have a child. So regarding your comment, ma'am, that he can legally sign his rights away, problem solved, that's not how it works in our country. A man can legally sign his parental rights away to a child, stating that he does not want to parent that child, he does not want to be in that child's life, but that does not absolve him of his financial liability to that child. There are laws in almost every state in the country that obligate the biological parent to financially support a child, even if they absolve their rights. Now, a mom can let a dad absolve his rights and say that she will not go after him for child support, and he can sign that paper, and 2 weeks later she can go to court and file for child support, because the law states that a child has the right to financial support from both of its parents. And even if that woman signs away all of that stuff and says she's not going to go after him for child support, if she ends up on welfare or some form of public assistance, even if she doesn't want to go after that man for child support, the state will go after that man because they are providing benefits to that mother and a child that may not qualify for benefits if they consider both mom and dad's income. So no, that doesn't solve a man's problem. If a woman gets pregnant, she has an out. She can choose many options to not be a parent. A man has no out. Whether he wants to be a parent or not, he is financially obligated to that child for the next 18 to 22 years of his life.
But you know what they say about pretty women? They say pretty women can't be funny. But my husband's like, it's okay, honey, don't worry about it. You're not that pretty. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. Because if I was prettier, I'd have a much richer husband.
Let's say somebody see my wife with a purse. Boom, I bought her a purse, a handbag. Okay. And they go, oh my God, I love your handbag. It's so good. Girl, you deserve it. You deserve it. Like, what? Or, you know, I buy her cars and people be like, oh my God, we love the car. That's right, girl, you deserve it. That is right. You don't even know her. Yeah, I'm like, based on what? Right. How you just know she deserved that? Like you just, like she's a survivor of some sort. The way they say it, like, you deserve it. Built you a house, girl, you deserve it. You deserve that and more.
For the sake of being
and more, men don't do that. If I'm on the phone with my boy, I'm like, I'm about to go. My wife just made enchiladas. He don't be like, you deserve it. You deserve that. You deserve that. Like, no, he be like, all right. He be like, that's cool, man. You lucky, bro. Lucky you. Right. That's how men go, man. You lucky you, man. I'm about to be here hungry. You lucky.
Bro, the more you tell a woman no, the easier it gets. Set boundaries, because you're going to be shit tested probably 3 to 5 times a day. If you're a normal guy just operating in life, 3 to 5 times a day, the world will shit test you. Your woman or women will shit test you constantly. Every no that you tell is a rep in the gym of masculine boundaries. The first one feels the hardest. The 10th one feels natural. The 100th one, it's automatic. You stop negotiating, you stop explaining, you just say no, and then let your silence do the rest.
Valentine's Day is coming, and you're about to see these women on social media praying for a good man. Dear God, please send me a leader, a good husband, a provider. Meanwhile, old Jessica's over here half naked on her social media, posting thirst traps, entertaining multiple men, acting as if though the whole toxic personality is like some cute trait. But since your friends don't want to tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. Flowers don't come before standards, and you certainly don't get a ring before discipline. You don't prepare for love by marketing your body online. You know the old saying, modest is hottest? Don't miss this one, okay? Love doesn't show up because you look good online. It shows up when you are aligned. You ladies are building your whole image off of temptation, meanwhile asking God to send you protection. It doesn't work that way. So these women who are all over social media praying for a kingdom man, honey, you better be making sure you are in kingdom alignment first. So y'all go sit on that one for a moment. Let me know what you think below, and I hope y'all have a blessed day. I can't talk.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend the way she talks about her car is weird and embarrassing?
Is this a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
I, 25, no mention.
Whoa.
I, 25, have been dating my girlfriend, 23, for about 9 months now. When she turned 21, her parents gave her a car and she decided to name it Angie. I learned all of this on our first date when she said, quote, Angie took me here. I thought that was odd, but let it slide. Throughout our relationship, she's always talked about her car as if she's talking about another person. When she got a flat tire on the highway a few months back, she called me and said that Angie's shoe broke and has to get a new one. When she goes to the car wash, she describes it as giving Angie a bath.
Yeah.
This all came to a head this weekend when me and my friends went out drinking and my girlfriend offered to be the designated driver. We were out for a couple of hours and I admittedly got a bit too drunk. When my girlfriend came to pick us up, she said she's stopping at the gas station first, quote, to get Angie something to drink. This is where I may be the asshole. I told her I think it's weird and embarrassing of her to talk about her car like that. It's a machine, not a pet or a kid, and that she should treat it like how a normal person would treat any machine.
What does that mean?
She got very quiet and refused to say anything for the rest of the drive home. She dropped off my friends and then drove to my apartment. I asked her why we weren't going back to hers, and she said that she needed some time to think and told me to get out. She's been radio silent since then, and I'm starting to think I did something wrong. Am I the asshole for what I said?
You didn't. That's weird. I know she's young and she's excited about the car, but referring to the car like that over and over again, at first it's funny, but then it does get a little weird.
So my husband told me that he doesn't love his stepson and that most of the time he doesn't even like him. And what do you know? Now we're getting divorced.
Okay, when I first saw this video, I was like, wow, valid divorce. If you don't love or even like a parent's child, yeah, you probably shouldn't be together. So she has me in the first half, right? She starts getting into how he's saying that he's always resented her son because she always puts her son before him, even though they've been married for 10 years and he's been involved since the child was 1. But then she says this.
But my son is not my soon-to-be ex-husband's child. Now, if he were his child, that would be a different story.
I'm sorry, what? Because now I have to do a 180, because why would the dynamics be different if he was the biological father? First of all, I feel like that's insulting to adoptive parents. But second, yeah, I'm starting to see where his resentment is coming from, because you're essentially telling him that you would respect him more if he was your ex. Like, as a stepmom, I could not imagine going up to my husband and saying, hey, I'm starting to feel a little neglected, like I'm always second fiddle to your son. And him saying, well, I would invest more in you if you were his real mom. Like, that would be such a slap in the face, but it actually gets worse when she tries to explain herself.
Let's clarify something, because I did say in one of my previous videos that if my soon-to-be ex-husband was the father of my child, it would be different. And two parents, who are the parents of the children of the family, work together in unity as a family unit. You have mother and father running the household and all of the children underneath. Now, I believe it sets an example of authority, respect, love, and care when a mother and a father work together in unity. They are above head of household and the children are everywhere below. But that is not the case. My baby daddy and I are not together. He brought another woman into my son's life, and I chose to bring another man into my son's life. My ex brought another woman into the relationship, and so now the son becomes the priority over that other person.
And there it is. It sounds like she just wanted to be with her ex, is mad that he chose another woman over her, and has spent the last 10 years punishing her soon-to-be ex-husband for it. I'm wondering if she ever liked her husband, or if he was always just a means to an end, like one of those race to the altar type things. And like I said, I was on her side at first, but then she kept making video after video about how she will never regret putting her son first, because her husband is a grown-ass man, and his happiness isn't her responsibility. And some of that is true, but husbands aren't asking you to mother them, they're just asking you to care. Of course your child needs you, but the whole idea of marriage is that once your child is grown and independent and doesn't need you anymore, that you and your husband will still be there for each other to take care of each other, and it feels like throughout this whole marriage, preparing for that was never a priority for you. Unless he was your ex, I guess. There are plenty of us who work full-time, have hobbies, are hands-on mothers, and still care about our husbands. But because you can't or don't want to do this, I think this divorce is a brilliant idea for both of you. But let's be honest, this divorce is not all his fault. Anyway, I wish you all of the happiness and success for both of you moving forward.
Well, I guess her soon-to-be ex, her second husband, not a bad looking dude from what I've seen. I haven't, I've only seen like, kind of a side profile, or I think she blurred out his face and stuff like that. So it's not a bad looking dude. It's not like you went out there and got a bum, right? The man has been there for 10 years. And the fact that you saying this type of stuff to him after 10 years is crazy work. That's where the mix up is for me. It's like this crazy work that even after 10 years, your stance hasn't softened. It hasn't softened. It's like, man, I understand that you probably got a lot of love for your son, but just the way you put things is crazy work. It's crazy work. Like, you sitting up here disrespecting me and said, if you think, essentially what she was saying is, if you think I'm going to change my mind about everything, you need therapy. And he was saying, well, I think, it might be beneficial for both of us to go to therapy. Yeah, you can let me know when therapy is going on, but, January is your month to get yourself right. And I'm going to be watching you. I'm going to be looking at you. I'm going to be keeping tabs on you. So go ahead and go to therapy. Get your problem fixed. But it's supposed to be both of us. You go ahead and get your problem fixed. You go to therapy. She didn't think she was wrong anywhere in the situation. And you conclude, after listening to all like 6 parts, I think, and she had obviously more after that, she just talked about the divorce and stuff, where she was talking about how she was in the right and she finally put her foot down, and her intuition, when it really wasn't intuition, it was just that man stopped paying attention to you and he started moving in a way that made you suspicious, and basically said, you know what, I'm going to take my Apple Watch upstairs and I'm going to keep it with me. I'm going to unhook my Apple Watch or any Apple devices from the iCloud that we have, and I'm just going to keep everything with me. Holding his phone with him, hiding his phone, going out and staying over a coworker's house, staying out late with coworkers, and going and getting drinks more frequently with coworkers. I mean, you don't need a rocket scientist at that point in time to tell you what that man's up to. He's tired of being around you, and you didn't catch on. Oh, my intuition. It was no intuition. You decided, which she did, not to sleep with that man anymore. And he decided to go get it elsewhere.